So we're going to get started now. Mr. Philip Mezey is Itron's President and Chief Executive Officer. He's an industry visionary working to drive digital transformation in the utility space. Mr. Mezey has served the company in several capacities, most recently as Chief Operating Officer for Itron's Global Energy segment prior to his role as CEO. During his tenure at Itron, the company has grown from a metering technology provider to a leader in the Internet of Things, connected smart devices to better manage resources. Mr. Mezey helps drive the dialogue around utilizing technology and data to create more connected, vibrant, efficient, and safer utilities in cities. Prior to Itron, Mr. Mezey worked at Silicon Energy as Vice President of Software Development and was a founding member of Indus, a provider of integrated asset and customer management software. So please help me welcome Mr. Philip Mezey. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to add my welcome to Teresa's and actually pick up on a couple of her themes. What an interesting year 2017 was. And for all of us who are in the industry, I think we really need to strike a balance between where it is that we focus on today's problems versus the opportunities of tomorrow. As suppliers to the distribution industry, we now represent a business that totals about $21 billion a year. We're joined by over 10,000 delegates and attendees here at DistribuTECH. Over 400 utilities are represented, so it's an incredible time for us to talk about the accomplishments of 2017 and look ahead at what the possibilities are for our industry. In 2017, as Teresa mentioned, we had these unprecedented weather events, over 200 inches of rain in Houston, and a challenge that CenterPoint Energy dealt with so incredibly that their restoration efforts, there were 0 safety incidents associated with their restoration efforts. In Florida, with Irma, at FPL, 4.4 million outage customers were restored in under a 10-day period. I mean, these extraordinary accomplishments are being driven by investments in smart technology and infrastructure that are allowing utilities to respond as they never have before, to increase the reliability and the safeties of their systems, and to gain insights that were unavailable to them. So, how do we keep the lights on? In an environment in which we have, in some cases, declining usage, you've heard about this many times, aging infrastructure, as we see up here on the left-hand side. This is gas pipeline age infrastructure. Our water distribution system has over 30% of water that escapes from it. And at the same time, we're facing an incredible challenge from an aging workforce, many of whom are going to be of retirement age very shortly. And so the technology and the solutions that we are bringing to market are both directly addressing the urgent problems that all of you are facing today. That is, how do I more effectively invest in my capital allocation, asset management programs, reducing operations and maintenance, and dealing with the very urgent problems of your workforce expertise as we look ahead at the opportunities in a changing environment. So what we think about is, how do we bring more value more quickly to you? And at Itron and all the other vendors that are represented here, here are some of the themes that we've really concentrated on. We are particularly excited in 2017 to have put Itron's balance sheet to work with the acquisition of Converge and most recently of Silver Spring Networks. What we are doing is concentrating investment on building a standardized technology platform that is open to as many participants as possible, accelerating innovation in bringing more devices onto the network and investing more in getting value out of the data that's being collected. We think that by focusing on common standards, we are giving our customers more choice in an open environment and creating more competition. Additionally, as we invest in an open technology platform, we have to move as much as we can, we feel, into the cloud, and to work with our customers on dealing with the economics of moving into the cloud. Why is that? The increasing complexity of real-time distributed systems and increasingly distributed intelligence that's out in the field is very complicated to support and deploy. To the extent that we're able to deliver this more cost effectively and reduce overall implementation times and costs by moving complexity into the cloud, we think that we are going to help speed innovation. And then I think one of the most important challenges that we all face together, how do we use the information that all of these new sensors and devices are collecting? How do we move from being reactive to the information that's being collected to being more predictive, to being more proactive? How do we go through this transformation? As suppliers for both products and services to the utility industry, we think we have a tremendous amount of value to bring in transforming data into insights and actually actionable planning. So we continue on the theme of rethinking a paradigm in which central generation, radial distribution of electricity, gas, and water increasingly is being disrupted by distributed energy resources, new players in the space that want to come and enter. We're thinking not only about today's problems of asset management and workforce, but delivering technology platforms to you that have the ability to grow and change the paradigm, allow us to integrate not only electricity, gas, and water into common networks, but increasingly solutions like lighting, public safety, environmental monitoring, additional applications that are going to bind not only utilities but cities together in order to improve outcomes. In order to achieve this objective, we are going to have a more dynamic grid that requires greater distributed intelligence. And when we think of an active grid, we think of a grid that not just collects information in order to centralize and analyze large quantities of data in order to make decisions, but an active grid that is interactively reviewing the data that's being collected, coming to very quick decisions and initiating actions out in the field in order to ensure that our grid remains the most stable, economical, and reliable that it possibly can. In the past year, we've also seen an increasing level of activity between utilities and cities as they collaborate in order to create better outcomes for all of us as citizens. With EEI joining the Smart Cities Council and a more formal alliance between utilities and smart cities, the level of collaboration and the opportunities are actually expanding dramatically. In Envision Charlotte, we've actually seen a 19% reduction in energy use for commercial industrial customers. Close to our home in Spokane, Washington, with the Urbanova project, we've seen a new energy economy and the integration of microgrids and other devices being very actively planned for. And here in San Antonio, an incredibly progressive utility that's moved from electricity to lighting to looking at air quality, the integration of water, and a wide variety of other services that are possible in this sort of an environment. When utilities and cities collaborate to create more economically efficient and sustainable communities, we all benefit tremendously. So in closing, what I would say is that we need to ensure that we continue to invest in the critical systems we have to meet today's challenges, ensure that the investments we are making are in technology platforms and standards that are going to carry us forward to realize the tremendous benefits that can be brought to us by analyzing this new amount of sensor data and being able to deliver outcomes that we never imagined possible. We are on the brink of a time in which we can see not only the much more efficient delivery of electricity, gas, and water, but building connections to customers who are now measuring our performance as they would the kind of customer service they get from Amazon or any other internet-based provider, that we can rise to the standard of being able to customize our services and interact with our customers in a way that was not possible before. Our opportunities are boundless. This is the most exciting time for us to be in this industry. Enjoy the show. Thank you very much.